hard to start a business and just go all in, you know.
Yeah.
And the struggles that we all go through and that you go through, and to wrap it up, like, it's just amazing to see like where before and look at where we're at now.
Look at where are we gonna
be in 5 years from now.
Yeah, in 5 years.
So I feel like that's just, I mean, if you guys watch the whole video, I'm gonna do a giveaway to you guys, and I'm gonna announce it right now. If you guys are a vendor and you guys are watching this, we have an event coming up on August 2nd. If you watch the whole video and you comment on his podcast, and if you like it and you share it, I'm gonna be doing a raffle. I'm gonna be giving away a booth. Each booth is worth $120 to $150. I'm giving away a free booth to our next event. But not also that, if you guys come to Roasted Bean, we're gonna be giving away free lattes and free on-the-go protein bottles. So all you gotta have to do is watch the whole video, like, share, comment. If you wanna like get more points to win faster, you have to share it in your stories too.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I said, give him a follow on this podcast.
Follow on Young Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'll put the link on the description on the bottom. This is the first of many. Make sure to like, subscribe, and then also on my behalf, the first couple followers, I'll be giving free money. I'll probably give $100 to, out of the first 10 followers, we'll see who I'll be like in a raffle. So I'll see the first 10 followers, and then we'll raffle it, and then I'll shout you out in the next podcast to pay you what you win. Okay? Please make sure to subscribe and follow. And it's your boy Milton.
It's your boy Chucho. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to our first episode of Young Entrepreneurs. I want to thank you guys for everything. This is your host Milton from Next Level Remodeling, and I just want to thank everybody that made this possible. We've been advertising this. Thank you for everybody that's been supporting. It's in my mind to do this for a couple of years now. During the pandemic, this idea came to my mind, and I was like, at the time I just didn't have the money to do it. But now, I've been blessed. Thank you to the man above, because he's made this possible. But also thank you guys, because you've also made this possible. Thank you for everybody that supported us. And we have ourselves Chucho from Roasted Bean Cafecito.
What's up, guys? What's up?
And then he's also with the Brothers Market.
The Brothers Market, guys. So not also that, we got the Morning Bloom too, guys. So, we do it all here.
And I see he brought the merch. So we're all Roasted Bean Cafecito here.
Let's do it.
So Chucho, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I've known you since you were 14, 13.
I was young, yeah.
We met at Obra de Orange, right?
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
so yeah, man. So a little bit about myself. I come from a family of 6 siblings, and my parents are from Mexico. So my parents de Guerrero, and my mom's from de Morelos. So family of 6 growing up. Just a lot of always a lot of noise. A lot of full house all the time. Growing up, I would say like traditional Latino. Struggling. Parents came from Mexico for the American dream, right? But with that being said, growing up, it wasn't easy. Financially, parents, struggled. So that's one of the biggest things that kind of started this whole journey. Just seeing my dad struggle. My dad, rest in peace. Seeing him struggle throughout his life, and him getting us out of that place. From coming from nothing. Living in a 1-bedroom apartment, living in a hotel, just from nothing, and seeing him kind of work to give us a better life, kind of just started this whole journey of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, man. Nielito, since I remember him, he's always nice guy. I have a lot of good memories with him, man.
Yeah,
I have a lot of good memories with him. Like you say, rest in peace. I know he did a lot of. He kind of built what you guys are now. He built your guys' characters. Great role model.
Yeah,
was a good dad, a good husband. I know he's highly missed. I personally, when I found out, I was very heartbroken, because he's a family member. I don't even see you guys like brothers. I see you guys like brothers, but more than brothers in Christ,
Sure, yeah.
You've also been giving me a chance to join your You're the brothers market.
Yeah, the brothers market. Yeah, yeah.
Man, so tell us a little bit about that. So how did obviously roasted bean cafecito start with that?
Yeah.
So how did roasted bean cafecito start?
Oh my God! So this story is cool, just because it has a lot of like history to it. But it all started with my little brother Elias. He worked at Portals. He worked at Portals in Buena Park, and he was a barista there. And like he did his job. Kind of learned a little bit about how like the coffee beans, and through that, one Christmas he got gifted a espresso machine with my sister Nora. Shout out to Nora. And the machine was there, and then like we would have guests coming over all the time, and he would just make like lattes to the guests, so everyone was like, oh my God, your coffee is good, your coffee is good. And then my little brother was like, oh, thank you. But at the time, like he had a vision, and he created a menu, but just like life moves on, like the idea just sits.
Yeah.
So then one time we did an event for church.
Okay.
And then that event, like it was like a fundraiser.
Festival.
And a festival, yeah. It was a festival, yeah. I think it was like last year.
Yeah.
I believe it was last year.
Oh, that's right.
It was last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was last year.
It was last year, and it was a good event. Like a lot of, it was fun doing coffees, and it's three brothers, so just three brothers working the bar, and it was kind of cool. Like we kind of like we fell in love with it,
Yeah.
One time, my brother and I, Elias, my young brother,
Yeah.
we were in Riverside, and we were hiking. And at that time I was going through so much, like not a lot of people know I was going through so much. I was struggling.
Wow.
I was like going through it really hard,
Yeah, you were going through
And then I'm like, damn, like that entrepreneur mindset, like what can I do to like not work for someone full time, like how can I make extra money, like how can I like just in my head, like, how can I make extra money, bills got to get paid. So then one time my brother and I were hiking, and then like we saw someone selling fruit and like raspados
in the little carrito,
in the little carrito, yeah. And then we're like, damn, like this guy has a line. And then we were hiking, and I told my young brother at that moment, like, bro, that coffee business idea that you have, we're gonna make it into life. Like we're gonna make it happen. And then that's just how it started. Like the idea was already there, but we were just like not doing nothing with it. But then that moment, with all the struggle that I was going through, I was like, dude, we gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
So our first event that we did, it was actually at that same park, that we did. And I remember like we went there, and we were getting kicked out by the security. Yeah.
Damn.
So then we're like, damn, like we're already going, like we're starting up, and then we're already like getting kicked out. Like when you start something, there's always something.
There's always somebody. There has to be that smart person there,
exactly,
or the securities in this instance.
So there's gonna be something in your way that's gonna like prevent you from like, oh man, but like what if I don't have the permits? What if I don't? All the what ifs, right? So we were getting kicked out, but my sister Cindy, if you guys, so I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. So my sister Cindy, she put her face. She's like, no,
Wow.
like don't get them kicked out. It's like it's their first time. Give them a chance,
That's
so
crazy.
then that moment, like that moment, we were like, okay, you know what? This is gonna hit.
This is gonna hit.
This is gonna hit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that story, man.
Yeah.
That's wild. It's like, it reminds me, like a lot of people don't know this, but when I started my remodeling business, I actually started. So I had just had my first son Timothy. This was back in 2016. I grew up around uncles that have always worked in construction, but so they would take me, hey mijo, ven, vamos a trabajar. Like, I don't want to go to work, Pues sí, iba nomás para agarrar dinero, just to make money. So I was always involved in the construction business, but I think it was when I had my son, kind of like what you're saying, I want to make more money. And I was like, why don't I just learn a trade? And so I told, at the time, who was my ex-wife, I told her, you know what, I'm going to go to Home Depot. And she was like, nah, you're not going to go stand there. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go stand there. Like, what's the embarrassment?
Exactly.
So I went to go stand at Home Depot. And dude, the first day I went, I'm never gonna forget that day neither, cause we went to go do with the yard guy.
Yeah.
Dude, when people talk about yard, man, that day, la mera verdad, like they made me work for that money.
Yeah,
and at the time, like I was like, wow, like I can't believe I got a job the first day. You know, that people were telling me like, oh, like not everybody gets work all the time. You know, you see on like on the videos, you know, when like I don't know what's that movie where it shows like they come pick some guy up and then you see like a bunch of raza like running towards like, oh, you know, take me,
Yeah,
take
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Dude, it was exactly like that. It was exactly like that. And so, long story short, the guy takes me to work. It was in Mission Viejo. So in Mission Viejo, the houses, their backyards are like in the back. So it's like the house is here, and then you have to walk down the stairs, 50 stairs, dude.
Damn.
And so I'm
The
like,
struggle.
what did I get myself into? You know,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, all right, whatever. You know, I'm already here. Let's do it. So they would cut palms, like those huge trees. If you guys ever been to Mission Viejo, you know how huge those trees are. So you know, I'm over there like, okay, so what's the job? He's like, oh, este es el ramero. And I'm like, ¿qué es el ramero? ¿Qué es el ramero? ¿Qué es el ramero? It's like, no, usted va a agarrar la basura, usted se la va a poner en el lomo y va a subir para las escaleras. And I was like, what? Like, I can't do that. Like, you know, I'm used to working in restaurants, warehouses. I'm like, what did I get myself into? So anyways, I'm like, okay, whatever, vamos pues. You know, cero medio al éxito. So, ya que me subo, you know, in the first couple ones I was doing good, pero ya cuando íbamos a medio lunch, I was like, oh man, I can't do
Yeah, I
that.
can't. I'm done. That kind of reminds me when I was young and like I was getting like little jobs here and there. Started working when I was like 15, and I remember like at one time one of my best friends, like we were working at first job was it was Taco Bell, and then we got a warehouse job, but we were waking up like at 3 in the morning, and mind you, like we were going into work at 3 in the morning and we wouldn't leave till like 4 p.m. And it just sucked because like we were there hours and like, you know, and we're like, damn, what am I doing? You know, like, damn, like it's hard, you know?
Yeah, it's hard.
And then I would go to some other jobs. So I was working 3 jobs at that time. But it's just like we do anything we can to like, you know, well, we gotta
do
eat,
what you
we gotta
gotta-
eat, you know?
Yeah.
And I know you said that you had your kid at the time, so you're like,
I mean, I had no choice at the time. I was like, I gotta do something because I was working 2 jobs prior to that.
yeah.
And so, you know, I'm continuing that story. I was just, you know, going up and down. I'm tired. So it comes to the point where I need to use the restroom. And this is a funny story. So le digo, you know, I told the guy, I'm like, hey, so where do we use the restrooms? Like, can I ask the homeowner? Like, no, it's like, escoge una esquina por allá.
Yeah.
Y yo dije, no, se me están cotorreando, you know. And I'm like, nah. It's like, no, de veras. It's like, escoge una esquina. It's like, no podemos usar el baño de ahí. I'm like, what? Papa Squad right here? I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. Like, so anyways, you know, I couldn't hold it. You know, I'm over there.
You had to do your thing.
I became one with nature that day.
Damn, all right. Yeah, man.
But hey, that honestly, that day on, it grew something in me where I'm like, you know, like hearing the guy's story of how he used to be a trucker and all, it just built my mentality. Like, you know what, I want to do something with my life, kind of like yours, you know,
Yeah,
very
bro,
similar
yeah.
to yours, and that's how Next Level Remodeling started. It started that day is the focal point of my business.
Damn, bro, it's just crazy how something small, like you're going through something like you went to Home Depot to get a job, you know.
Yeah.
So that just shows that when like something small could create something big, and the thing is a lot of times people like, for example, like my fear starting the business with my brothers was like, but what if people don't like it? But like, what if like we can't get events? Like all the what ifs. But the biggest thing is just you have to start at one point, because if you don't start, you're never gonna know. It's just a dream that dies. And the biggest like regret I've seen people do is like they talk about a business but they don't start it. And that's the biggest thing. Like you just gotta start it, and you just gotta trust the process, and you just gotta surround yourself with the strong circle, even if it's 1 or 2 people. Because at the end of the day, like those people, if they're so driven the way you are as well,
Yeah.
you're gonna make it far, you know.
Well, that's why it says, you know, you gotta surround yourself with the right people, because that's another thing I learned too. You know, you learn a lot of things as you go around learning, growing in business, but I think you have to surround yourself with the people that have that mentality to succeed. Like, you can't be like stuck with people that are like, still partying or still, you know, thinking like worker. Like,
Yeah.
that's another thing I had to stop
Exactly,
thinking
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
worker. You know, a lot of people don't understand that when you become a business owner, your first employer is yourself.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't have money to pay another person.
You really
know?
don't. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you guys are doing. I know you guys have been very successful, but you guys understand that, you know, like it's just not, no es fácil, you know, just have workers.
Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility.
The way I see it is like, you can hire workers, but no one's gonna have the same work ethic or the same motivation other than yourself, because this is your business. Like, there's a lot of times that, like, we do everything. My brothers and I, we do everything. Like, we prep, we do the inventory, we order, we do everything, right? But like you said, like, for me, it's a passion. You know, if you wake up in the morning and you're like, dude, I want to do it and then do it again, it's just like, it's a passion, you know? And like, as long as you have a passion to something and you give your 100%, trust me, like, anything can happen. You know, you can make it far.
Right now that you're saying that, you know, it reminded me of, so the guy that taught me how to do flooring, I also met him at Home Depot. And he told me one day, he's like, you know, if you're going to make it in this business, he's like, you can't look at this as a job. You got to look at it like not a job. Like,
your baby.
Like, honestly, me, when every day I wake up, I look at it like I want to go to work. Like, back then, it was like, I don't want to go to work. Like, oh, man, I can't believe I have to get up. Now I look up. Like, now it's like, okay, what's the next thing, you know? Like, what are we going to get ourselves into, you know? We all have our good and bad days. But at the end of the day, like, you have to make sure that what you're doing, that you're in love with it.
Yeah.
Because then otherwise it becomes a job.
Exactly.
And you don't grow like that, you know? So how did the Brothers Market start?
Yeah, so the Brothers Market, like, it's crazy because, you know, so a little bit about so right now we don't have like a set location for the coffee, right?
Right.
So we do a lot of pop-ups. We do a lot of markets. So the way it started, like, by the way, the Brothers Market is, follow it on Instagram at the Brothers Market. It's a market page, and the whole purpose of this is, like, as a vendor, like, doing a lot of events, I came to a realization, like, okay, some events are good, some events are bad. You're in the business where, like, you're gonna have good days and bad days. But the way it started was an idea, and I was on my phone scrolling, and then I'm like, wait, so, like, I did this event, but not, like, it wasn't the best event, right? Not because there was people, but because it was just, I guess you would say the host wasn't a good host.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to events where the hosts are there and they leave the market, and they come back towards the end, and then, okay, kicks everyone out.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, damn, like, how, like, if I were the host, like, how can I make it better, even if it's the little things. So the idea grew just like that, man. Like, just like, kind of like, how can I make it better?
Yeah.
And then I was scared. At first, I was scared to start a market because, like, I didn't know nothing about it. You know, I didn't have no guidance. You know, so in my head, I'm like, how can I make this, like, good? Like, how can I make it better?
Yeah.
And the market has only been going on for like 4 or 5 months.
It's been
like 4 to 5 months, and with those 4 to 5 months, we've done about like 10 markets. Wow. 10 markets, yeah. And so the idea is just kind of like, just how can I make it better? Thinking for the vendors, you know.
Yeah.
And then I just, one time I remember I did it in the first market that I hosted was in Norwalk. The one that you did, Norwalk. Yeah. So it was at a Crunch Fitness, Norwalk. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was super nervous. I'm like, what am I doing? Are people gonna show up? Like that's the fear of, like, people not showing up, because at the end of the day, the vendors are there to make the money, you know. You know, so then the first event was successful, like third and fourth event was successful, and then throughout the middle, it was just like getting like a lot of like bumps in the road, you know. Basically, yeah, man, that's just how the market started.
You know, and one thing I like about the Brothers Market, I've been there personally. You know, he's let me sell fruit there, which is also support my dad's business. He's a local vendor. You know, things have been tough right now with this whole raids and everything, and so, you know, it's sad to see, like, a lot of hard-working people, they can't work, you know, because they're afraid to go outside. And so, if you guys know your local vendor, support him, man. If you any local vendor you guys know, go give him some help. They don't have to ask you, so, like, it's just common sense, you know, that we help our raza, you know, because. People, look, we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them making that choice to leave their country, to have a better future for us. You know, I look at coming in from immigrant parents. my mom, man, I saw her struggle. I saw her struggle. Single mother. You know, we came to the United States, and she just did what she could for us. And so now I bless her. You know, next level remodeling. It all inspired me from having a dream that my mom had, which was, you know, to make a better life for us. You know, and so I think that's been my number one inspiration out of everything. That I thank our parents, dude.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, number one, I thank our parents. I know Niel, Annabelle, you know, I love them. They have done just so much for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, and they've also helped a lot of people at church.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about that. So, those of you guys who don't know, like my parents, so I grew up at a church over the Orange, right? And back in the days, I'm talking about like years ago, my dad would he had a bus, and with that bus, he would like evangelize and tell people about God, especially drug addicts and alcoholics and just people who were in drugs and stuff. And he would make friends with them, and he would tell them, hey, like, you want to go to church? Let me pick you up. So then my dad would literally drive to their house.
Wow.
And then pick them up and would take them to church. And then, like, you know, my dad has always been an entrepreneur his whole life. Like, you know,
Dude,
my dad was a mechanic.
He was a hustler.
His whole life, you know, my dad, but I'm gonna get into it. So my dad, he didn't, my dad was a diabetic, and he got his leg amputated. So my dad didn't have a leg for a long time. And he would hustle. Like, when I say hustle, he would wake up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and he would go sell. He was a vendor, but he would post up in a panaderia in Anaheim, and he would post up there. And what my dad would do is he would import stuff from Guerrero, which is
where you guys are from.
Yeah, and he would like bring it. He would drive to Guerrero, by the way. He would drive over there, pick up merchandise like cheese, huaraches, pan, like everything that people that can't go over there.
Yeah.
He would bring it over here, and he would post up every day, 7 days a week, no breaks, and he would literally sell there for 12 to 15 hours, bro.
Right.
Until he would sell out. And then if someone would call him, hey, can you bring me a cheese? Even if you're in LA, he would drive to you guys.
Wow.
But it was a process of 10 years.
Yeah.
But with those 10 years, he was able to build a house in Mexico, build a church in Mexico.
Yes, he built a church in Mexico.
He built a church in Mexico.
Yeah.
But not also that, he was able to like just leave something behind.
Yeah.
You know?
Something so they can remember him.
It's something that we could remember, our kids could remember. Like, it's just like he always told us, like, I want my nephews, I want everyone to remember me, you know.
Wow.
And that's one thing that, like, my brothers and my family, like we like took it and we saw it.
Yeah,
and
you guys saw his vision.
Yeah, we saw what he did, and he wouldn't even tell it. Like, he would always just him being motivated, waking up in the morning, like an immigrant, not having nothing, you know, was able to build something. And like, for me, that was like the motivation, you know, like, has always been the motivation, you know.
And you know, it's crazy that you're mentioning that, because, you know, that's so everybody talks about how you know, they talk about how immigrants are rapists, they're drug addicts, but nobody talks about the hardworking side of it. You know, I've seen. I was telling my contractor the other day, you know, I was like, hey, he was sad about what's going on, you know. And he was like, have you seen that meme on Instagram? I told him, I'm like, where they say like they're doing a roofing job, and then the homeowners are like saying like, oh, you know, they came, and he's like, as soon as I saw they were Mexican and they told me they could do it a day, he's like, I believed every single word, because it's true, you know. Like, dude, Mexicans, we're hard workers, dude. Like if we say we're gonna get it done, we're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
You know, you have Bob over here telling him, oh, hey, Bob, do this and that. Like, they think twice about it, but I've had, like, you know, my own white friends like that. They tell me like, no, like, dude, you do it. Like, I don't want to be outside in the sun, you know. I don't want to get burned. And so I think it's very underrated to talk about what, like, actual, you know, Raza does when they go to work. Like, roofers, man, they go through it tough. People that do cement, yarder, like yarda, you know. Like, I told you guys a story that I had. Like, dude, there's some crazy stories that nobody knows, you know. And so that's why I wanted to build this podcast, because it'll be nice to hear the stories of how everybody started, you know, like, especially young people, because
like you said, you have that vision from your dad.
Yeah.
And then you're going to pass your vision on to your son. And it just creates, in a sense of way, you're kind of breaking generational curses.
Exactly.
You know, you're breaking the curse of being poor, because unfortunately, a lot of people that they don't want to grow more. Some people just get stuck, and even you can even get stuck in being a business owner, because if you don't have a vision, then I mean, a little thing can start and just destroy itself. So I mean, I've seen that you guys travel a lot, man. You guys have fun. You guys tell us a little bit about that. Where have you gone?
Yeah, bro. I mean, so first of all, like traveling. I'm 28, so like, if you have the chance to travel, just travel like as much as you can, because, you know, there's no age to travel, but just travel like right now, you know, if you guys can, you know. But yeah, bro, like they say, you work hard, you know, you could play hard.
You gotta have
yourself,
fun too. Yeah,
and that's another thing that I always tell people, like, yeah, it's all, like, work hard, because at the end of the day, if you don't work hard, you're not gonna have anything, you know.
Yeah.
But just work hard, but also like reward yourself, you know. It's not all about like work.
Puro
You know?
jale,
And that's one thing that I kind of like call myself, because the business has only been over a year. The brothers market has only been like 6 months. It's still fresh. We're not big yet, you know. Like, you got one thing you have to understand is you got to keep working hard.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we talked about in the beginning. You just got to keep working hard, and just don't lose faith. Don't lose faith in your business, and don't stop at all. But yeah, man, I mean, my brothers, my older brother and my younger brother, they're the ones that travel a lot. They go to Brazil. They went to Thailand. They went to the Philippines. Like, wow. Europe. You know, like they travel a lot. I travel too, but I'm more like, all right, let's go to work. You know? Let's go to work. All right, like, let's go to work. I'll go to Mexico for 3-4 days. All right, like the way I think is that, okay, how can I recover what I spent? You know, like, that's just that, like, the entrepreneur mindset, bro. Like,
that happens to me too.
Yeah, like I went to the restaurant. I spent $200. All right. Tomorrow I'm gonna make that back.
I gotta go make that money.
Yeah,
back.
so that's a cool thing. Like, that's the thing about, like, just being the hustler, you know, and yeah, bro. Like, it's just crazy to see. Like, you were mentioning about, like, right now, like, the raids that are going on. It's just crazy to see that there's still people who, because I have a market coming up on August 2nd.
Yeah.
And for the vendors, I message them, and like, one thing that I always tell them, hey, your safety matters, right?
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy though? Is to see people still show up. Raza still showing up, because at the end of the day, they're trying to make it. They gotta feed their family.
They gotta feed their family.
And that's one thing that even motivates me even more. You know, like, it's like, bro, people like that is the people who make it far. You know, and that's just crazy, bro. Like, it just comes to show that, like, the whole, like, point of this podcast is, like, to
young entrepreneurs.
Young entrepreneur, and like, and if you're young out there, and I met a guy. On Saturday. I had an event in Rancho Cucamonga. He's young. He's like 18, 19 years old. And if you see this, bro, you motivated me even more, because he has a Bobo company, right? And he has a whole car, like, whole setup, right? He's only 19 years old. He started when he was like 17, like, in high school, you know? And like, he has a whole setup, and like, he's doing it, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's just like one thing that I would say to my young self when I was 17, 18, you know, I was crazy. Like, everyone in high school, I went to Anaheim High School. Everyone, like, if you guys know Chucho, like, you know, like, you guys
know him from high school.
Yeah, I was crazy, bro. I was like getting into trouble, you know, like, I was doing like dumb stuff, partying, throwing parties, like, freaking cops would come to the parties, and were like, it was crazy. I was a crazy guy, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, like it's just crazy, bro, because those things led to other things, you know. And I think like, let's just, like, those things led to me having an accident that almost cost me my whole entire life.
Oh, that's right, man.
And Beto was actually there to record the video,
the testimony.
Yeah, it was like about, I want to say, like 5 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, but at that time in my life, it was like, oh my God, like it
dude,
was like,
and you recovered quick, huh?
Yeah,
you
so like,
real quick.
Yeah, I did, bro. Those of you guys who do not know, it was like on a Saturday, like on October Saturday. I don't remember the day exactly, but Me and my brothers, you know, we were out, and then we were. Point is, we were at a restaurant bar in Santa Ana, and I just we were like having a good time.
Yeah.
We go outside, and you know, long story short, like some guy comes with a gun, like just wrong place, wrong time, right?
Yeah.
And we were in the parking lot, and he just I don't know if he was on drugs, I don't know if he was drunk, I don't know what happened, because point is, like, we're just chilling, and then he just pulls up in the truck, and then I was right in front of him, and he shoots me, and he shot me like right here. I don't know if the camera wants to zoom in. I'm not trying to show you guys I'm not trying to show you guys my choices, I promise you. So I got shot right here, and then I also got shot in my leg, and then in my back. So in that day, it was a crazy day, for a scary moment for myself and my whole family, right? But not also that, my little brother jumped in, and
Elias,
my younger brother Elias,
Yeah.
he jumped in and took 2 bullets from me, because the guy was gonna keep shooting and killing. Like he wanted to kill me. He shot me 3 times, and my little brother saw me on the ground,
Yeah.
and he tried to tackle the guy, and the guy just turns around and shoots my brother in the leg and the back, and he just dips. He bounces, se fue, you know.
Wow.
So that moment, it just comes to show, like, you're in the wrong place, wrong time, you know, like. You know, and sometimes you don't even learn from it, because then I had another accident that people do not know.
Yeah.
And like after that, a year late. Oh, actually, that happened, and then like months before, my dad had passed away. So mind you, my dad passed away.
One thing after another.
I get shot, right?
Wow.
And then like a year later, I get in a car crash,
Wow.
and I totaled my car. I flipped 6 times. I flipped 6 times. I don't have pictures, but we could post them right here later. But the car was so bad, like my car looked like I got squished by a molder, bro. It was that bad, you know. So I had the accident, and then at that moment, like I didn't realize that I was in a really bad accident, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
and
you're
then
in shock.
I'm in shock, but the thing is just like, it's like, damn, like the next day I was like, damn, I didn't even go to the hospital, by the way. And I went to the hospital the next day. I had a fractured spine. And then the doctor's like, what happened? I got in a car crash. And she's like, oh, but how come you didn't go? I was like, well, because I didn't feel any pain at the moment.
Yeah.
And then I showed her the pictures, like, wait, so you decided to come to the next day? Like, you know,
Yeah,
you
like
just
you
got in a
could've
crazy ass
been
car crash and you come the next day, you know? So that just comes to show, like, you know, I was a crazy guy, you know, like, even to this day, I'm still crazy now. I'm just kidding. No. But yeah, it just, I mean, like, sometimes sometimes life is just gonna hit you hard, bro.
It's gonna,
You know?
and even like I think it's not so much, you know, like 15 years ago, you know, I was doing drugs, I was doing all this crazy stuff. Those of you that know me in Santa Ana, you know, if people ask who Milton is in Santa Ana, they're gonna tell you who I was, you know. I also recorded a testimony years ago. I look back at that testimony, I couldn't even talk. I was like stumbling, like, you know, like. To see how much I have come a long way from there, because, you know, like a lot of the people that I grew up with, they're either dead, in jail, or crazy, you know. And it's sad. Like the other day I was getting gas, and I saw one of my old friends, and like, you know, it broke me, dude, because he was asking me for, like, he came to ask me for money, and I'm like, dude, like, I don't want to see you like this, like what can I do to help you? And he's like, hey, you know, can you buy me something to eat? And I'm like, yeah, dude, but I'm not gonna give you money for drugs, you know, like. I want to be a part of that, you know, because ultimately, like, we came from there, but because what if I give him money, he goes buys a drug like fentanyl right now and all that stuff, he gets it, like his debt could be on me, you know, because it could have been from what I give him. So it's wild. I have my own little wild stories from back in high school, you know, before I became Christian. Okay, before I became Christian, you know, we're not perfect. I know you have some crazy stories, dude. Like that whole car accident, man. I didn't know about that, but dude, we're talking about car accidents. So a couple of years back, I think it was 2011. With church, we actually went to Six Flags. First time going to Six Flags. After that day, I never went back to Six Flags. Dude. Everybody that went to Six Flags, whoever remembers and is watching this video from that day. Everybody was throwing up right after. The toughest people were throwing up, getting dizzy, man. That day was wild, but I had fun. But never going back to Six Flags again after that.
In other words, they had too many tequila shots last year.
Hey, tequila shot would have helped me that day. So anyways, we were coming back home, and it was a brother from church, and so he was dropping me off right there on Tustin, and so we were about to make a left turn on the light, and there was this Tesla. I think it was a Tesla. I don't know what it was at the time. But so he came straight at us. All I can see in my head, I didn't believe when people would say like life goes through your head very slowly. But that day, like I literally saw everything so slow. And all I saw was just the car lights. And at the time I didn't have kids, I have 2 kids now. At the time I didn't have no kids. And all that was going through my head was like, this is it. Like, I'm done, like. And all I was like, God, forgive me for anything that I would have done that I haven't repented of yet at the time. And then, I closed my eyes and, like I was just thinking about my mom, my brother, my family. And the car hit, boom. When the car accident was over, and I came out and the cops were like, hey, you guys okay? You guys okay? Dude, I came out of that car walking. And the car hit my side.
Yeah.
And when I went outside, I don't know if I still have pictures, but the whole side from where I was completely destroyed. The guy that was driving, he came out limping. And then they sat me down there, like you said, I didn't leave home that day. But I sat on the grass and I was just like, dude, I'm fine. Like I didn't feel nothing, but you're in shock, At the time you don't really, you know what's going on. And then the cops just telling me like, just sit down. You were just in a big car accident. And I was just in my head was like, what happened? Like, but dude, I came out of there fine. Like, but it's just certain things like that make you know that, like, you have a purpose, like, I understand now, like, I live my life where, like, I have a purpose. And I know that, like the saying, in Mexico, they say, cuando te toca, cuando no te toca, te puede pegar un tren y vas a salir ahí caminando, a lo mejor,
Yeah.
Yo creo sin un pie, ¿verdad? Pero no me tocaba, pero, like, the story of how you saying the car, like, doing all this crazy stuff, dude. You don't know how many stories like that I've heard, man. And it's just like, dude, like sometimes, like it's a little wake up call,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, like sometimes you don't even like it's a wake up call, but you don't see it as a wake up call. You just like continue doing like what you're doing. Like, oh, okay, I'm alive. I'm good. I'm nothing happened. All right. Like, who cares, So I guess what I'm trying to say is just whenever life throws you rocks, you gotta get yourself up, and you can never feel sorry for yourself because a lot of people they do like, oh, but I went through this and I went through that, and like I didn't have money and like just all these stuff, and I feel like that should be a motivation to even work harder,
Yeah.
And what I guess what I'm getting at is like right now, like if you're having an idea, like I said in the beginning, like don't have excuses, just do it, just go for it. I literally like met some guy because I work every day. Like I don't have days off. I bartend at Sauce. If you guys, I serve at Sauce and bartend.
Shout out to Sauce.
Shout out to Sauce, bro. So if you guys are ever in Irvine, come through. I got you. But get that shit. Yeah, I work every day, bro. Like even if I work 3-4 hours, like I go to the gyms and I sell coffee at the gyms. I sell protein shakes. Like last Saturday, I had an event with my girl for the Morning Bloom, which is another
coffee.
Yeah, another coffee business. So check them out too. And what do you call it? And then like just every day, just hustling, So I guess what I'm trying to say is just work hard and the like when we started, like I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like don't believe everything that social media shows, right? Because I've seen people that they like oh my God, I want to be like them, and then like turns out to be that it's not even how it is. Like it's just all show. Yeah. Like a lot of the vendors, like if you're like a lot of the vendors know what the struggle is. Like right now, summertime, it's gonna get hot. It's gonna get 100 degrees. You're out there sweating, setting up. Like you're working hard, bro. And like at the end of the day, like there's days you're like, fuck, like I don't want to do that. Like why should I do that? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like it's not gonna be easy in the beginning. It's not.
No.
But like you know what's up, you know how it is, and then like in the first 6 months they were hard because the first 6 months we're a small business, we're trying to get the name out, doing events, and then like just events would come through events. So sometimes we would do an event, we wouldn't make nothing, we wouldn't make no money, you know.
Sometimes you don't make no money.
Sometimes you don't make no money. That's just owning the business, you know. And like, but we would meet one person, and because of that person, we got an event. And then, you know, like now we do weddings, now we do quinceañeras, now we do a lot of events, bro. And thank God, like,
dude, I seen that you guys did for. I've seen a couple of events that you guys have done. You guys do events for churches. You guys do
hospitals,
events, schools,
hospitals.
Dude, I saw that. I'm like, wow, these guys are worldwide, dude, Mister.
And the thing is, like, we're not big. Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people think, oh, you need to be big to make it. No, you don't need to be big, bro.
No,
it's who you know as well. It's like who you know and connections. And
that is very true.
And like a lot of times, like I said, sometimes we will make no money, but we will meet one person, and that person turned out to be his school district school board, and then we get an event through that, you know, and then word of mouth as well. So it's just crazy because like you don't need to be big to start a business, to be honest, you know.
You know, I think with my business, because there's a certain point in a business career when you hit peaks. You know, there's peaks in your business, and then there's also lows.
Oh yeah.
You know, as most of you know, I'm divorced. When I hit my
single
divorce,
ladies, hit them up.
everybody taking applications, but
he has a business, and you know.
Just make sure I come with 2 kids, all right? I got a 9
If you guys don't mind 2 kids, you know, like a little stepmama.
But so yeah, when I got divorced, dude, when I got divorced, first I thought I was over for me. I was like, oh, you know, I was all depressed, aguitado, you know, sad boy,
rock bottom,
sad boy status, you know. Pero después, I told myself, I'm like, you know what, like, now I need to pick myself up, dude. Like, I can't stay like this, you know. I got my kids, like, they're looking out for me, you know. They're trying to see, like, whatever happened between me and that person, it's like, you know, it's done. But now I need to know how to get back up and continue to, because I gotta still support my family, dude. And so, I like you know, it was one thing after another. And then check this out. So I got divorced, I think, in 2019. And so a little bit months later, pandemic happened. And so I was just like, dude, I just got divorced, now this. And so, dude, así como dice, más faltaba que me comieron perro. And so it was tough. I got COVID too. And then so I kind of isolated myself for a little bit. And then I met this company. Shout out to Floor and Decor and Lumber Liquidators, because some of the best companies I work for, and they built me back up, dude. Like, I got a truck. So I had gotten a 2017 Silverado. Dude, I love that truck. But unfortunately, you know, pandemic happened. Everything got shut down. I had no money to pay my payment, so they repoed it. And so then shortly after, I met these people from Floor and Decor, which is Arthur's Flooring. That's his name. And so they just started giving me a lot of work. You know, I always say that it's weird, but during the pandemic, dude, I was working like no other.
I remember I was working at Costco too. Yeah, I was.
Dude, the pandemic,
some people,
busy. You know, I had friends that were doctors, lawyers, a bunch of people that they had no work, dude. And I was blessed enough to have a lot of work. I was working, dude, ya ni quería trabajar, you know, de tanto trabajo que me estaban dando. But that's just how, I think at the end of the day, it's just how you take things. You know, like, I could have been like other people, you know, I could have probably gone back to drugs. I could have become an alcoholic. But I just chose to the other route, you know, which not everybody wants to take, you know. Everybody likes the easy way out. And if you're going to be a young business owner and you want to do the easy way out, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I promise you that. It's not going to happen. You have to hustle, man. You have to, dude, even right now, like we still got to hustle, you know, like and even when you make it, you still got to hustle. You still got to hustle. You still got to hustle, you know, you could be a millionaire or whatnot, you know, but at the end of the day, like how do millionaires become millionaires? How does, like, Amazon be Amazon? You know, it all starts with something small, and you just gotta work hard. And like, I like what you said. You cannot like find the easy way out.
No, you can't.
Because if you have that mindset,
No, no,
You're not
no
gonna
la
make
vas
it.
a armar. No la vas a armar.
Mm.
You know, one of the guys that I see a lot business wise, you know, it's like, you know Rick Ross, right? You know the
Yeah, yeah.
rapper. Dude, that guy business wise, he's crazy, dude. He's wild. He's doing a lot of stuff. I don't know if he's still partnered up with Buffalo Wild Wings, but in one of his interviews, you know, I was watching that he said like, so he owns Wingstop, but he says that so he didn't have to deal with the workers. I think it says that he would rent the restaurant. So at the end of the day, he gets his money. You know, he doesn't have to worry about labor or nothing. I was just like, wow, that's pretty smart. Like, you want to make your money work for you. You know, you don't want to work for money. You want the money to work for you.
Yeah.
So like right now, like I was telling him earlier when we're coming up here to the set, I was like, he was asking me if I was working. To them, I'm like, yeah, I am working. Like on my phone, I'm still getting calls. Like I'm still telling people, like, you know, in my remodeling business, like I'm telling them, okay, let's do this, guys, let's do that, while I'm still here. You know, like, but that's the beauty of it. Like when you become a business owner, ultimately the goal is to be able to disperse yourself. You know, like be at more places, and ultimately, like, you want to start businesses. You know, and
Yeah.
getting money out of that.
Yeah.
So what are your visions for what's next for the brothers market?
Like I said, we have an event in August 2nd. And what I've been doing right now is just like collaborating with other markets. So it's like 3 markets in one. And like the whole point for collaborating is just to like every market, every host has like a different vision, and it's just bringing ideas together. And like at the end of it, the ultimate goal is to like help the vendors like be successful in the events. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so the goal is to like just keep pushing that, because the whole point of this is to help, like the whole point of the brothers market, the idea of it is to like help people grow their business. People who are starting off small, like my whole goal is to like motivate them, and like whatever I can, post videos, do videos, like, and then when they show up, like the whole goal is for them to like make connections.
Yeah.
You know, like just how we started, we make a lot of connections like a year ago, and I'm not even lying to you, it's all about connections, you know, because that's just how it is, you know.
You gotta have, like, you gotta be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
Because I think in any
That's one thing
business,
that's a good
right?
conversation. Yeah.
You gotta be able to if not everybody's gonna be a people's person. I mean, originally I wasn't, you know, like I'm still learning. Like I was evangelizing at my church, and I think that's something that kind of pushed me, you know, to be more like talkative to people, you know, because before I was like, oh no, you know, that's, you know, like, overall I was very shy, and so the evangelizing, like, dude, I met a lot of like wild people, dude, on the street, you know. You'll be amazed
See a lot of crazy
what you
stuff,
find
huh?
outside,
Yeah.
right? And so shout out to Santa Ana, because honestly, a lot of our DT, I think it's the Art Walk in downtown Santa Ana. Make sure you catch them every first of the month. Dude, they've been helping us out. They've been, until this day, they still reach out. Hey, Milton, we're glad to have you here. It's been a lot of businesses, dude, that have. That's why in the beginning of the video, I was like, you know, thank you for everybody that has in some sort of way collaborated for this, because if it weren't for them, like, literally, like us, we wouldn't be anything if it weren't for the
wasn't
people.
for you guys, yeah, exactly. Because, and I always say that, we always say this all the time, like, if it weren't for you guys, you know, like, we would not be here. And at the end of the day, that's just amazing when you build a community, you know. You build a community, like he built a community in Santa Ana, you know. And like when people were like, what's gonna make you different from other people, you know, like anyone could go get a job done, but why are they gonna come to you?
Yeah.
You know, like anyone could go to any coffee shop, right? But why do they come to you? Like, why do they drive from far away to come to you? That's the biggest thing that I've learned, and that's what helped us business be successful, is you always have to provide a great guest experience, not a customer. Because if you see them as a customer, you're like, okay, here, all right, you paid me, okay, have a nice day. No, you have to treat them like they're a guest, you know, like you have to give them that guest experience, and that's what makes you different, you know. So everyone has to have a leash, like what is gonna make you different, you know. and building the community, like kind of like how you said, like in Santa Ana, you build a community.
build a
Shout out
community.
to Santa Ana, you know. Shout out to
You guys are doing Fridays, Munchie,
yeah, we're doing
Fridays,
Friday
right?
night munchies. So
Friday
Friday
night
night munchies every Friday we're gonna be in Santa Ana. That's the page called Friday Night Munchies, and it's busy there all the time, bro.
How's that been for you?
It's been busy, bro. It's been busy. Yeah, that's a good spot. It's a food spot, so it's a lot of
It's
food.
more food.
Yeah,
wise, right?
but it's in Santa Ana though, so shout out to them. But yeah, bro, like that's how it is.
Dude,
bro.
you know one thing I like about the Brothers Market is when I'm there, like just the vibe, dude, like the whole music and. Well, dude, you guys turn up. I feel like I'm in the club right there, bro.
Yeah, we get some good DJs, bro. Shout out to
and then you guys be like having the boo-boos and all that stuff.
yeah,
you know?
bro. We gotta make it different, bro. We gotta make it fun for the people, cause you know you're there for hours, and imagine like it's dead. There's no music like that. That's just how I am. Like I try to like make it funny, you know, and
I think you got that's going back to what I'm saying. You have to have charisma, dude. Like I think the Brothers Market, if it didn't like, I know there's people that make the Brothers Market, you know, vendors and your family,
Yeah.
but I feel like you're like the spark of it. You know, like you make it be the Brothers Market. You know, and then that's cool because it's like who advertises your business the most? Yourself.
yeah.
You know, like if for example they know Next Level Remodeling, how they gonna know Next Level Remodeling? By the owner, like. You know, that you represent your business. Like, how are you representing your business? You know, like, I think nobody talks about a lot about.
Speaking of that, guys, one thing that I've learned, and it's just this is just like a little I guess I could say like a little trick to help your business grow is to get merch and like you know get merch, and then you know you have people wear your merch anywhere they go. They like, for example, I go to the gym, wear my shirt. People are like, hey, like, what's that? Oh, it's my business. You want to give me a follow?
I like this design.
And if you guys need any merch, go ahead and give my sister a follow. She does merch. She does.
What is it?
It's called Niel's Market.
Niel's Market.
No, Niel's Graphics. Niel's
Graphics.
Graphic, guys. So NEIL.graphics.
Dude, the roasted bean cafecito is bomb, dude.
Yeah, bro. You know the coffee's good, bro. Just
Hey, I was telling Cindy, I was like, hey, saca los chilaquiles.
yeah, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
hey, we come from DF, dude. So anybody that knows from DF, chilaquiles, allá hay rojos, verdes, like you name it, bro. Like, hey, she got down with the chilaquiles.
Yeah,
dude.
bro. We done markets, and my sister she does like chilaquiles, like, and then we like put like cecina, you know, on top of it and some huevitos, you know. So bomb.
Bomb.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, like we would eat that in like my mom would make that like chilaquiles verdes. Are you a verdes or green guy?
Verdes. dude.
Verdes, yeah.
Hey, I'm very picky though because, like, for example, I've been to very many Mexican restaurants, but like, dude, there's a way to make it. For example, like my grandma, menudo. You like menudo?
I love menudo.
Dude.
Especially on Sundays. Nah, just kidding. Nah, just kidding.
Después de un viernes, ¿no? Loco, ahí te echas tu menudito
No.
y tus tortillas. Dude, my grandma, rest in peace too. But dude, she used to make the best like menudo, dude.
Yeah.
And I would always tell my grandma, I was like, ¿cuál es su secreto, abuelita? And it's like, nada más la moja bien el menudo y lávalo y que no quiero grasa en ese menudo. And dude, her menudo was bomb, dude. Y después de una... Te revive eso,
Yeah,
la
bro,
mera
yeah.
verdad.
Especially it has to be spicy though. If it's not spicy, then you're gonna be dead. Nah,
No, dude, that's crazy. You know, like I'm really happy for the Brothers Market, man. So, how did the Morning Bloom start? That's your girl's business?
Yeah, it's
right?
my girl and I business. So yeah, so that business it started. It all started like we would do. So she would do pastries, and then we would do coffee. So we started together. Like we started together, and she would do a lot of events that I would do. So we would do papas together. She would do pastries, and then we would do the coffee. And then she's always worked at like restaurants. Like she's always worked at cafes before.
Mm-hmm.
So she already knew all like about coffee as well. And then just one time, she's like, "Hey, I want to do coffee too." And I was like, "Let's do it. Let's run it." And then you know it was a baking page, and then she changed it, and then we just started making it happen. And we started doing events, and yeah, bro, it's different, bro. It's different taste, different flavor. You know, a lot of people ask me, how do you do 2 at 1?
Yeah.
And honestly, like You just have to have a balance. Life is all about balance, and do not care what people say, because people are gonna talk. They're gonna say whatever they're gonna say, bro. Oh, but how are you handling too? Like, bro, I'm telling you, you could do it.
Yeah.
It's just you just gotta be organized, and you just gotta stay consistent. Being organized falls into like, okay, you have to have a balance. You have to be organized, you know, and you can make it happen, you know, like, you know.
And then another thing too, like, dude, your girlfriend is very humble. Like, when I've gone to get coffee for her, like that's why it goes back to what I said in the beginning. Like, you have to have charisma, dude. Like, you know, like in any business, number one thing, like, you want to make your brand stand out. Like in the store, there could be thousands of ketchups, right? But which one are you gonna get? The one that tastes better, you know? So I think it's very important for us to learn that in a business. What's something that you would tell a young person that's maybe watching this right now, like that he's trying to build something? What would you give him? What would you advise him?
Alrighty, so one thing I would tell you is everything's gonna be okay, you know, because a lot of people like have a lot of things in their mind, like, you know, like stressing, you know, especially when you're young. You're like, okay, you're out of high school, what's next? Go to college, you know, like, just everything's gonna be okay, you know. But if you want to start a business, one thing I would say is just do it. Don't say, but what if? But like, don't say, but I don't have the money. Like, start small. You don't need big equipment. You don't need thousands of dollars to start a business. I started with only like $200, you know. And then the biggest thing is just start small. Don't. If you have the money, go ahead. Like, invest. You know, invest. Like in your brand and like posters and shirts. But start small and just start. Like, don't be afraid of the what ifs. What if they talk? What if they laugh at me? Like, get that out of your mind. Don't let that stop you, because if you start worrying about what other people say, you're not gonna make it. You have to just do it, and don't be afraid to do it. You know, and find someone like that, a mentor, or you don't even need to find someone. Just like motivate yourself. You know, like you have to like be motivated and just start doing it. You know, and honestly, like, it's gonna be okay, because at the time you might think, oh, everything's like just like out of place. My mind is everywhere. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But once you just start doing it, it's just everything's gonna fall naturally, you know. And it's not gonna be easy, but it's also not gonna be impossible. So
you also, another thing too, I think is very important, is you gotta be responsible, dude. Like, for example, we got here like hours way before, like, you know, the pod started at a certain time. But we got here like 3 hours before, you know, like 4 hours. Like, we're already setting up. We took over the hotel. Like, a lot of people outside looking at us like, what are you guys gonna do? Film a movie or something in there? Like, so you need to be responsible, because if you're not responsible, if you're not on top of it, like, believe me, like on my business, I lost a lot of money. Like, I'm not talking about like a couple dollars. Like, no, like now I feel it, you know, like if I don't do something right, like, it's gonna go on me. Like, I have to, like, ahora yo, like, I give accounts. Like, I have a couple of workers now, and very responsible, you know. And so, like, that's what you need also. Like, you know, after you start yourself and then you start getting people, you gotta make sure you get people that see your vision. Don't give just loco ahí que está ahí en la calle, you know. Like, he's not gonna respect your business. You gotta have people that think like you, and ultimately also reward them. You know, make them feel like. I tell my people at Next Level Remodeling, I have a designer now. Shout out to Kim. I have other people. Shout out to Will too. That he's a contractor I'm working with Simcoe Construction. And so I tell them all the time, like, look, you guys are not like workers. You guys are family. Yeah. I make them feel like family. Like, if there's something wrong, like, you tell me. Like, I don't want to hear later on, like, oh, it's because I feel this type of way. Like, no, like, you gotta talk to me. Talk to me, and we could. Like, talking fixes everything. You know, like, con la comunicación, like, you get things done. And so I think that's something that you need to stress a lot about, is responsibility.
For sure, yeah. It's like, if you see the money, don't spend it. Like trust me, like learn. Like, I would do that. Like,
don't buy la boo-boos.
Don't buy la boo-boos.
You know, Violet already took a lot of my money doing that, man.
It's like boo-boos, bro.
Ya conozco todas las boo-boos.
Bro, it's funny because I do markets, and like, I'll see the little kids, even adults, like wearing la boo-boos. Nothing wrong with that, but Like, damn, bro, like $40 for little monito. Like,
Dude, the person who made those dolls, dude, like,
yeah, bro, like
it's
it's just,
making money, bro. Hey, and now the little clothes, huh?
Dude,
it's like una
bro,
camisa
you
pa' mí.
literally buy clothes for the boo-boos, bro. Like, you have like little sandals, like goddamn,
Bro.
and it's not cheap, bro. Like it's funny because some little girl came up to me and she's like, because I bought her that boo-boo, but I didn't know nothing about it, and it was like a brown one with the red nose. I guess it's like it's a secret. I guess that's what it's called. And I got the La Boo Boo and I gave it to my dog, not thinking nothing of it. Bro, I think that La Boo Boo is worth like $300. and every time I see that La Boo Boo, I'm like, damn, bro, like my dog just ripped a $300 La Boo Boo. You know? So it's just crazy. It's just, dude, there's vendors who sell La Boo Boos and make thousands of dollars, bro.
Dude.
It's just like you just have to come up with an idea and like I know some guy from high school who. At school, he would sell like chips, you know, he would sell chips.
Yeah.
And then, like, right after high school, everyone would make fun of him, like, oh, like, haha, like, look at him. Like, you know, when you're young, you make fun of people for no reason, like, anything you want. Yeah. And then after high school, he started selling, like, right outside of Disneyland. And he would sell, like, waters and he would sell, like, toys. And then I would see him going out all the time, like, damn, but this fool, like, how does he do it? You know, he has money, whatever. And then every time, like, every season, like, when it was hot, he would sell waters. When it was cold, he would sell, like sweaters and stuff right outside of Disneyland. And this guy right now, he's very successful. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you cannot also be shy. No. You got to get out of your comfort zone. If you're shy, I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna make it.
You're not gonna make it, bro.
Yeah,
sorry, but
sometimes I post up on this, like, this is something that I still do. Like, I post up right outside a restaurant, like kind of like a street vendor, you know. And people always pass by and they ignore you. They don't pay attention to you. When I go to the gym sometimes to sell, because I go to Crunch Fitness and sell protein bottles all the time, people like see you, they don't even ignore you. Like, they leave you hanging, bro. You know what's up?
Yeah.
Like, as a street vendor, bro. Like, when you would do the fruit, people wanted, like, you would be there for hours. Sometimes you wouldn't even make nothing.
You don't make nothing.
So it's just, yeah, you got to get out of that and you got to shake it off, you know?
I had some crazy stories there selling fruit, man. Like, you know, like when you start a business, for example, like, you know, not all street vendors have permits. So, you know, the city comes, they take away your stuff, and it's like, it's wild. You know, one time I had a discussion with one of those guys, and I told him, I'm like, look, I understand you guys are doing your job, but, like, these people are paying for this stuff, you know? Like, I'm helping my dad out. Like, he helps me with money and whatnot for helping with it. But, like, dude, like, you guys don't have to throw everything away. Like, what's the point of throwing it away? Like, just tell them, like, to close down and that's it. You know, like, you don't have to get all crazy like that. But I see sometimes you see on videos, you know, like, some people, like, se pasan, dude.
They throw everything away, bro. All the hard work, bro, that sucks, you know? A lot of people, what they don't understand is a lot of people, like, this is all they have, you know?
Yeah.
There's people who went to school and are successful. There's people who were born rich. There's people who have to work hard. There's people, like, they're, like, a lot of the street vendors that I see out there, like, they're 40, 50, they're in their 60s, like, still doing that because that's all they have. Like, that's all they know. And, like, they come in, they throw everything away, and, like, they just kick them out. It just kind of sucks because, but those are the risks that we take, you know?
Those are the risks that you're taking.
That's what we take, bro. And, like, at the end of the day, it sucks to see that. But how are we going to recover that? That's just the mentality you have to have, you know? So, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have nothing, and it just sucks because, damn, bro, like, that's why anytime I see a street vendor or anytime I see someone, I
show some love.
I show some love, you know.
Show love to your street vendors.
Yeah, bro, like
flores. Cómprale unas flores a la tóxica.
Yeah,
bro,
para que se hey, secret, if your girl's mad at you, buy her flowers. Like, sometimes it works.
Unas ramas ahí de...
And if you buy her flowers and it doesn't work, then buy her some tacos. No, but yeah, bro, like, some little kid, so you gotta buy her some tacos, bro. The tacos. And if that doesn't work, then take her to church now, you know.
I can la liberen allá.
Nah, but like, yesterday I went to Norgate and there was a little kid, like, I'm talking about a little kid, like 10-year-old. He was selling chocolates, and then, like, giving, like, a little gesture, like, hey, like, you know, here's $3-4, you know, like, that's a motivation for them. Like, when someone buys a coffee from me, like, okay, damn, bro, like, all right, let's do it. So show some love to the street.
Hey, those little kids selling those chocolates are some hustlers.
Hey,
bro.
there's some make some money, bro.
They little Boy Scout.
I asked him, hey, like, he was trying to tell me, like, hey, you know, I have a basketball team. I'm like, bro, for you have a basketball team? He's like, yeah, bro, yeah. Like, you know, he has a whole spiel. I'm like, bro, for real? He's like,
Nah,
no, I don't,
capping,
bro. I'm trying to make some money. I'm like, yeah, but
I'm just
dude,
capping.
yeah, like that's the mentality, bro.
Yeah.
You start young, bro. Those are the kids who are freaking successful when they're 18, 19. They freaking driving Lambos and stuff, you know.
I saw this business idea where there's this person. He was standing outside of a store, and she was trying to sell her product, and she was advertising whatever. Nobody was paying attention to her. I was just walking by. And then you see the video, and so she pays somebody to literally stand there and advertise her product, and she came pretending like, she didn't know it. She came to pretend like interested, and so they did a live expo right there in the parking lot.
Damn.
And before you know it, you had a bunch of people around like coming in like, oh, what do you? Well, I think it was a mop. I think it's very popular on Instagram. I've seen it, and I'm just like, wow, dude, like you gotta have a mentality that's gonna make you money, dude. Because if you have an idea, you can have a business idea, and at the time you may look at it and be like, for example, there's a lot of coffee shops, but what makes Roasted Bean Cafecito different?
Yeah.
Is the vibes you guys have, the way you guys handle yourselves when you guys promote your product.
Yeah.
That's that. I think that's one thing that we need to learn, and I'm still learning myself.
Yeah. Even me, bro. Like how can I make it better? Like how can you make it better? Like even like in videos on like you said earlier, bro. You're showcasing your own product, bro. So how can I make it different? Like Reels, TikTok, Facebook, like all of these platforms really do help your business,
They do.
And it's about you promoting yourself. And if you don't promote yourself, then no one's gonna do it for you.
Well, that's why the focal point of this podcast was to promote young entrepreneurs, because in my head I was just like, I wonder how many crazy stories there is out there of how young business owners, how they started.
That's a good
Everybody has an interesting idea. Like, we kind of learn a little bit how you guys started. We learn a little bit about yourself. And so like that, imagine so many stories. Like we all know the big business people. Like, wow, okay, but what about the,
Small ones.
like that's why when I heard those comments, with people, for example, immigrants, this country is built on immigrants, like people don't realize one thing, but young entrepreneurs, we eventually we make more jobs.
Yeah.
Like we're not taking nobody's job.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
I don't think you took anybody's
Yeah,
job.
bro. Yeah. If you think about it, bro, that is true, because at the end of the day, bro, like we're providing jobs for people.
We're creating more jobs, dude.
Like the thing is, like you said, I like what you said. A lot of people see the big companies, like the big restaurants, the big chains, but the small ones, no one talks about. No one talks about like how they start,
Yeah.
And that's a good idea about this podcast, is that you're giving the opportunity for people to talk about their business and how they started and their story and like their visions and where they see themselves 5 years from now. They look at this video 5 years from now and they're gonna be like, all right, that was me 5 years ago. Look at where I'm at right now, So it's a good opportunity, and this is the first podcast that we've ever done, that you've ever done.
Dude, the first podcast ever, dude. We were able to get Chucho in this, and those of you who don't know, he's also a musician. You play the
I play trumpet.
dude.
I would play trumpet at church, bro. Yeah, I would play trumpet at church with my brother, and I sing here and there.
Hey, what people don't know is he sings. He has a really good voice.
Yeah,
You killed that on the low, pero sí se avienta sus corridos.
I sing here and there. Yeah, I would like one of my passions when I was younger is like play the trumpet.
Yeah.
And I would like to sing too, and I would sing to the girls. If my girl's watching this, that's how I met my girl. I would sing to my girl.
We're gonna cut this out of the podcast.
No. I would sing to my girl. Like I would sing to my girl, and that's how I met her. And yeah, like it would work, Girls would like that.
Enamorado,
yeah.
¿no? El cantante.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, I remember you guys. What would make you guys stand out? Like you guys had your little group, with Elias, and you guys wear the bow ties, todo así bien, jazz, dude. You guys did a lot. You guys have done a lot.
We would always dress up fresh, dress to impress,
Well, Chucho, like, thank you for coming to the pod. Like, I hope it's not the last. I hope to have you later on, and
I might be your co-host. Who knows?
Yeah, dude.
I might be your co-host. I feel like this is like the first podcast we've ever done, and honestly, like I'm honored for you to do all of this, because honestly, like You know, it just comes to show that when you have a vision,
Yeah.
you go for it. And that's, I mean, I think the main topic of today was like just do not like how to start a business and just go all in, you know.
Yeah.
And the struggles that we all go through and that you go through, and to wrap it up, like it's just amazing to see like where before and look at where we're at now.
Look at where are we gonna
Be in 5 years from now.
Yeah, in 5 years.
So I feel like that's just, I mean, if you guys watch this whole video, you know, like
bean.
no,
The
but
first sweater
if you guys watch the whole video, I'm gonna do a giveaway to you guys, and I'm gonna announce it right now. If you guys are a vendor and you guys are watching this, we have an event coming up on August 2nd. If you watch the whole video and you comment on his podcast, and if you like it and you share it, I'm gonna be doing a raffle. I'm gonna be giving away a booth. Each booth is worth $120 to $150. I'm giving away a free booth to our next event. But not also that, if you guys come to Roasted Bean, we're gonna be giving away free lattes and free on-the-go protein bottles. So all you gotta have to do is watch the whole video, like, share, comment, and if you want to win fast, if you want to like get more points to win faster, you have to share it in your stories too.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, definitely.
And like I said, give him a follow on this
Follow
podcast.
on Young Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'll put the link on the description on the bottom. This is the first of many. Make sure to like, subscribe, and then also on my behalf, the first couple followers, I'll be giving free money. I'll probably give $100 to, out of the first 10 followers. We'll see who I'll be like in a raffle. So I'll see the first 10 followers, and I will raffle it, and then I'll shout you out in the next podcast to pay you what you win. Okay.
But not also that, I mean, if you guys want to join the podcast, make sure to send him a message on Instagram.
Yeah,
DM
definitely.
him. And if you guys like this video, I mean, go ahead and like comment and let us know what you guys think. You know, let us know how we did. Let us know how we could be better. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, guys, it was
comment on down below. Tell us what you guys like. Tell us what you didn't like. I'm open for criticism. And then we'll see you on the next podcast. Please make sure to subscribe and follow. And it's your boy Milton.
It's your boy Chucho. Let's go.
And we'll catch you on the next podcast. Thank you guys.
Let's go.